Brittany got a Thai massage. Where'd you go, by the way?
Okay, it was like this place that my coworker recommended.
Uh-huh.
No sign on the door. You walk in this like office looking building on Westwood.
Okay.
Like it's like in this like weird, it looked weird and sketch. And I walked in. They didn't really speak a lot of English. I told them what I was there for. And next thing I know, this little 80-pound woman is hopping on my back like a spider monkey.
The bars on the roof? Because the place I went had the bars.
Had
You
the
should
bars.
make
So
a post on that.
when I laid down, I looked up and I was like, oh, this must be a Thai massage place. Like, okay. Well, when I went to work today and I told my coworker that I can hardly move, my whole body
Right,
is aching where she was
right.
walking for me. She's like, "Oh, you can ask for Swedish." I said, "Well, I didn't know that. I didn't even get offered that." Next thing I know, I'm rolled over. She's straddling me. I don't have any clothes on other than my like underwear that I was told to leave on. And this little woman's just straddling me and I'm staring at her in the face while she's like massaging my hips. And I'm like, this is awkward and weird.
That was my experience at the place my dad booked me. And suddenly she's got my arms like behind me and she's like pulling them. And I'm just like, I'm topless, but cool. Do what you got to do back there.
I'm like moaning, like my hip is like killing me. I'm like, she's like, oh, okay. Like, I'm like, yeah, yeah, right there.
Well, and the thing is, like, I feel like I can't complain. Like, I don't want to make them mad. It's like when you go get your nails done, you're like, I can't complain. So you're just like, got to keep it in. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Like,
I
just
mean,
like,
would I go back? Probably. Maybe ask for a Swedish massage next time. It was $78.
yeah,
Like,
that's like the place I went was 80. Yeah, it was
yeah.
amazing. And they use like Tiger Balm, some like minty thing.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know what she was doing back there. I don't know. It was interesting.
was it curtains? Like little rooms with curtains?
Luckily, they did have some doors, but they were like cheap doors when I like tried to open
Yeah.
them.
Okay, mine was just curtains, and there was literally I could see the room right beside me with the curtain, and I was like, if you bring someone in this curtained place, like no, mm-mm. It's uncomfy. So let's talk today adult friendships.
Adult
Adult
friendships.
friendships. I feel like they're so much harder than people like real ones are so much harder than people recognize because you actually have to put in work for them the same way you do romantic relationships. But
You do.
people kind of well, I have three thoughts on this, and then you tell me what your thoughts are. One, I think that people are so used to being friends with people from their like childhood, whatever, college, high school, whatever, that sometimes they fail to reevaluate is the friendship still serving them? Like there's something that happens over passage of time wherein the friendship just kind of is. And it's like, okay, but am I still feeling good in it? Is it still serving me? Is it still going in the direction I want to go? It's like it becomes complacent, kind of the way a marriage can, right?
Yeah.
The other point I want to make about adult friendships, which I find really interesting, is that I find that when you're a kid, you just hang out with like who lives near you or who's fun, who plays the same sports as you, right? When
Yeah.
you're an adult, somehow they become transactional. And
I think it kind of depends on where you live too.
sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, LA is bad for that.
Yeah.
But they become transactional. And I don't mind the fact that they are to some degree transactional because, like, all relationships are transactional to some degree. But what I struggle with is when the transactional isn't balanced, when one person's giving and the other isn't, or when the transactional is what leads the relationship.
Yeah.
Um, like that's all there is to it. There's nothing beyond what you give each other. Um, anyways, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
I kind of think friendships like ebb and flow. Like I friendships are to me are like extremely important. Like I take my friendships
Yeah.
super seriously. I always have almost to a fault, I've been told before. Um but it also is to me it's like it's a trust factor to me. I think sometimes me personally can be a little too trusting, but also it's like once I get to that point where I feel like I can trust you, then I will protect you or I will have your back and that mindset. But I also feel like even with really great friendships, they can ebb and flow. And I think it can kind of depend on like what area or like what stage of life you're going through. And that's something that I kind of had to get used to over the last 10, 12 years as my friends all started to get married and then they all started having babies. And, I kind of was like going with them, but then I had to step back. And then they're like, having like some of the happiest times in their lives. And I'm having one of the hardest times in my lives. Like it really gets tested in a way there. But I also have seen how much they can show up. You just end up showing up in different ways. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, and I think like the real friendships, like the good ones that stand the test of time, even if you're in different stages of life, they're still excited for your highs. They're still there for you for their lows. There's not a comparison.
There's
I
not a
think that like
comparison.
the comparison factor when I've had friends like this who just there was this like subliminal undercurrent of competition, like maybe on our timeline, maybe on if we go out to bars together, maybe on like who's hotter, who's skinnier, who's more successful. And those to me aren't friendships. They're almost like fillers, like people that I don't know what to call that. But I do see a lot of friendships that are kind of like founded on that. And I don't know, I wonder if guys have that. Do you think I don't feel like guys have those kind of relationships.
Um, I think I think those relationships are not necessarily based just on a man or a woman. I think it's based on that person's insecurity, and I think that that can kind of come in different ways that might not be as obvious to the naked eye, but I do think that sooner or later, it's like, a man that feels like he needs to get all the women, that is a sign to me a little bit of insecurity, kind of like the pick me girl with dudes, like trying to be like the cool girl, like friends with all
Right.
the guys, And
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, it's like when I was younger, it was all about like, the quantity of friends, but like the older I get, I'm becoming slowly but surely, I'm becoming more okay with having like fewer friends. And a lot of like my like best, closest friends don't live near me. I
Yeah.
think you can relate to that. But
Yeah.
I also think it's important that you put in the effort with friendships. Like I
I'm
might
bad
not
at
talk to you for a year, but I will get, I'm going to pride myself a little bit here because I do reach out. I will call my friends that still live on the East Coast at least once a month. I will check in with them. And it's just a matter of like people, sometimes I've heard people say like I don't need to like worry about that. I can make friends wherever. And like that's just not personally how I like handle friendships. I think that, I never know, like those friends have been there for me in times when I needed them. And maybe like my life has gone this way and their life's doing this, but say I ended up moving back there. You would still want your friendships
that.
that were
Yeah.
great, right? Like it's
Well,
just important to like keep those connections that for the people that you've really connected with, in my opinion.
so devil's advocate, I think that friendships are kind of like love languages in that people want different things, right? So I know you're very good at that. And I think that that's like one of your strongest traits is you're very good at checking in on people. You're very good at keeping up to date no matter where they live, what stage of life they're in, etc. I'm not. Um, I tend to be able to gain and lose friends very easily. I like the people that I'm close with, I'm very close with, right? But
Right.
acquaintances, beyond like I would say my closest like five friends, beyond those closest five people, I can take and leave a lot. I can allow people to come in and out. And it's not that anything bad happens, it's just I kind of allow life to take its course
Yeah.
and
You are
the
good about
people like I don't I don't hold grudges over people that leave my life. I don't wonder about them. I'm not mad about it. There was no big fight. It's just we grew
that.
apart and I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I think though, it's interesting that the two of us are because I think we're very close friends, but I think though that like it would be hard if, for example, I lived in North Carolina and you lived here and I was never reaching out to you. I think that would hurt you because we're such close friends and because that's kind of the way
Yes.
you treat friendship.
I would just call you.
Be like, knock, knock. Hi, hi. I'm
Yeah,
here.
like, I mean, like, I can't tell you, like, some of my, like, childhood friends that I've been friends with 20 years, We don't ever talk on the phone. We're going on a trip in November. I haven't called them on the phone in a year, but so I
Okay.
think it's kind of different. It's like once you kind of know that you two are solid, like when I like know that like, we're always going to probably be friends.
Right.
No,
Then you don't
I'm
worry
probably
about
not calling you on the phone, like things like that. But like people, I think it kind of ebbs, right? Like I still talk on the phone weekly to like my like best friend in the morning that has like two kids that lives on the East Coast. And or like another one that's pregnant. Like, but it's also those people that were kind of around in like the last 5 years of like big changes. I feel like you kind of still will keep in touch and that might kind of fall
it.
off and things like that. But I see what you're saying in the sense of like if you are always like looking for that it might be taken the wrong way or thinking that it could be tough on that person.
Well, or just like you want to find a match, right? Like my
Yeah.
friend, like Laura, my friend Laura. Laura's very good in the same way that you are about communicating with people she went to college with, high school with, and maintaining those friendships. And sometimes I feel bad because I'm not as good as she is at it, right? Because she'll check in on me weekly. If I'm going through something, she'll check in on me daily. And my go to is more to like take space.
Yeah.
I really think it's like attachment related. And this, like, it's not a love language, but maybe it's a communication style. But when I'm going through it,
You kind
I
of back
remove
up.
myself. I
Yeah.
hibernate. I hide under the covers. I don't want to be checked on because then I feel obligated to respond. And but you know that about me, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like that would be unusual for you. And so I think that
Yeah. If
like,
I hibernate, you're like, knock, knock, knock. Are you okay?
well, now I know because I've gotten in enough trouble with friends about it. Now I know to just tell everybody I'm hibernating tomorrow. I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm hibernating tomorrow. And then everyone's like, okay, cool. He's not going to answer her phone.
But that's
Unless
also like
it's like an emergency.
communication. Like even in the 4 years that we've been friends, like think
Yeah.
about I used to be like, why are you not responding? Like, what the hell? We've been having a conversation. But then you're like, I'm hibernating. And it's like, okay, Eve's not gonna respond today. Like, whatever. So
Well,
it's just like
I've also
trying to
gotten better about not like dropping off the face of the earth for 24 hours.
yeah.
'Cause I would do that bad.
I
Um,
know. Every Sunday I was like used to it. I was like, okay, I'll talk to her on later in the week. Like,
right. Well, and you know what? That's a product of the new job I have. Because my job used to be so stressful that I literally had to like take a day in order to work on Monday. Like I couldn't do it. And now like my job's a lot better. That all being said, that was a serious topic. Like I feel like I have a lot of thoughts about it, but did you see
yeah.
my TikTok this morning? Because I want to tell you a story and I hope you haven't seen it.
I don't think I did see it.
It was about my gym experience this morning. Did you watch it?
Oh no, I don't think I did see it.
Okay. I love when I can actually tell you the story and you haven't already seen it.
I've been trying
So
not to be on my phone as much, so we'll see.
we love this for you. I got a new like serum or whatever that's for blue light. You should tell me if that matters at all. Um, so it's at the
Okay.
gym, and my gym does this thing where you get like you get a shirt if you do 100 classes, you get a shirt if you do 200, you get a shirt if you do 500, whatever. It's got like a thing, and they put up a little sign, and it's like like John got 250 classes, whatever. And the instructor always like announces it during the class. And at the end of the class, you get handed a t-shirt and that's all fine and good. So the instructor today, we're going in our class and the way the class is set up, I'm not going to say it out loud, but you've been. It's like you move between the bikes and the floor exercises, right? The instructor is running around going like this with this red rag, like a bull rider, and going whoop whoop. And I'm like,
6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. And
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
sounds like a
this is
nightmare.
bizarre. Morgan Wallen was playing and he's like, not my problem, whatever. Like, it's just a whole scene. And I'm like, and he's like looking for a reaction and nobody's reacting because we're all like, this is fucking weird. So then after he does this, like 2 or 3 rounds of this, he's like, well, it's, John or whoever's 500th class. Woo! And he's like getting real into it and spinning and spinning. And then he opens it up and it's the shirt that he's been like running around the class with, which I was like, that's weird. First
Is
off, like you're
that
going
the
to
shirt
give
you got?
what?
Is that the shirt that you got?
Yeah, like, well, I didn't get it today, but like when you get your shirt, yeah, it was like that
Oh,
shirt. It's the shirt that
oh.
the person's going to get at the end of class. He's
So
been
now
like
it's all like
whooping.
stretched out and like been
Yes.
like
Oh, it
okay.
gets better. It gets better. So I'm looking at him like, she probably don't want that shirt now, but okay. Then he goes, well, can't let this shirt, and he's still spinning it the whole time. Can't let this shirt get bad juju. Let it get bad woo woo, bad vibes. We don't want any of that in here. And I'm like, where's this going? And he goes, I'm gonna go around the class. Make sure you get your sweat on the shirt. Got to give it the good juju.
Ew.
I literally was like, come again? He starts riding around the class and being like, yeah, lift heavier, flick that sweat on this. Let's get it that good woo woo.
That's disgusting.
And I'm like,
The sweaty shirt.
what?
Would you want to take home the sweaty shirt?
Oh, he's like stretched it out. He's whipped it around. We've all been like, I'm watching all this happen and I'm just like, I can't. And I've got like 10 more minutes left of class and he's whooping. He's still going. He's just riding the horse. And I finally just go, I got to walk out. Bye.
Yeah,
I left. I left.
would have left.
10 minutes left. I was like, I can't. I don't want to watch this anymore. You're like riding a horse. Anyways, that was the weirdest experience I've ever had. My last day at that gym is tomorrow, so I will not be
There
returning.
must be something in the air because I had a weird gym experience this morning too. More because of my stubbornness and my pain that after my Thai massage because I've hurt my hip, y'all. I've hurt my hip at the gym. So I can't do my workouts how I normally do. And working out is my stress reliever. And so I'm like at the gym, and my trainer's like, "Oh, well, we're gonna have to take some breaks." Da, da, da. And I look at him, and I was like, "I just want to cry." And he was like, "What?" He's like, "Do a hamstring curl right here." And I'm laying down on the bench, and I just start crying on the bench of the gym. And he's like, I get up, and he goes, uh, "Are you about to start your period?" And I was like, "I am. Like, I just want to go back to my normal routine." He was like, okay, but then he was so nice. He sent me all these like hip mobilities today, and I was like, "This is what I'm paying you."
Have you used one of those styrofoam rollers on it?
Oh yeah, I've gotten all in there. So I think
No,
it's
like at home.
yeah.
Yeah. I was
I'm
gonna
using
say I used to have really bad hip problems from sitting at a desk, and I would literally put on like a 1 hour TV show, and I would just hip roller it out for an hour.
It's scary though when you feel like you're like your body's like 25, and then you wake up and you're like, nope, it's definitely not 25. Something's going on in there.
Cat wants to join. Fat Cat's like, I see you
Oh
in.
yeah, bring up the little kitty cat. Checking in on our guy of him and his cat. He's almost there. We're about 10 days out, I believe. So just a little update for everyone following along.
Oh,
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yep,
Hi. Do you know what the cat's name is? Phoenix?
Phoenix. And the boat's name is Phoenix. But
Oh, that's cute. That's
yeah.
cute. I love that.
Are you
I love it.
excited
How long
about
is it
Mexico? He's going to Mexico this weekend
I'm going
for
to Mexico.
Memorial
I'm
Day.
going to wine country, Mexico. I am. I sent around the itinerary and we're doing. So I'm actually super excited. You've never been, have you? Oh, you
I've
went. Yeah,
been.
yeah, you went with Tierney. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to a winery tomorrow, and then we're going each dinner we're going to is like a Michelin star restaurant. I didn't know there were so many Michelin star restaurants down there. It's kind of wild.
I know it's wild. It's just kind of like Mexico City is known for that too, and that's why I want to go like
Yeah.
eat your way through the city.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to a winery and then dinner, and then on Saturday we're going to three wineries, and the second and third one are both like known for their like live music on Saturdays. I thought of you. And then Sunday we're doing three private tastings and doing like a sunset dinner overlooking the vineyard. We're bringing the
Speaking
dogs.
Speaking of being a good friend, this girl's gone on. Our other friend had to find a date for Mexico.
Well,
I opted
yes.
out of this trip, so I wasn't one of them. But she tried, and so Eve and her boyfriend have been going on double dates for like the
Hilarious.
last 2 weeks
Yeah.
and
Well,
vetting these guys.
and the thing about it is it's not like my friend couldn't get a date. Like she could get a date, right?
Yeah,
But she wanted it to be like a good vibe. She wanted it to be like fun, you know what I mean? So she was like, let's make sure that he gets along with everybody. So basically, my boyfriend and I booked a room, and our friend wanted to come, and she was like, I'm going to book a room, but it'd be cool if I brought a date. And we were like, yeah, that's fine. And then she was like, I want to make sure it's like crew vibes, like everyone gets along. So she kept on scheduling these double dates. Yeah, we went on two double dates on Sunday. I went on a double date on Tuesday. I went on a double date Monday, I think. I've been on a lot of double dates. And we found her a date. Well, she found her a date and we approved of him and he's coming with us. None of us have
I
met him.
cannot wait to hear the stories.
Literally none of us have met him. And then Kinsey today was like, I'm going to get us soccer tennis. She's bringing a fucking soccer net down there for us to play soccer tennis.
Well, that sounds like my worst nightmare.
I was like, Kinsey, I like working out and I still don't want to do that. Why are we bringing a soccer net to Mexico?
What? You need to go lay in a hammock in the
I
wine.
know. I know. It's whatever. But our hotel has like a lazy river and a like swim up bar and
Okay.
it's fun. And we've already booked like drivers for Saturday and Sunday, so we don't have to drive or anything to the wineries.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it should be fun. It'll be a bit jam packed, but
You guys are coming back on Monday?
yeah, we're coming back Monday morning.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. The last time I went to, I can't even say it right. Valle de Guadalupe, whatever.
Valle de Guadalupe, Valle. Yeah, I can't say it
Valle
right.
de Guadalupe was like when I like first moved out here, and the place we stayed had this like weird meditation dome. It was like a little bed and breakfast. So they like cooked you breakfast every morning, but it was like a super modern hotel. It was really, really neat. I'd never been down there before, but it was a cool vibe for sure.
We're trying to explain to Glenn that like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's effectively like Joshua Tree-esque. Because I was like, should we bring some bottles of wine? Because the wineries all close at like 6.
Yeah.
And the bar at our bar at our hotel closes early. And we're not planning on like going out, right? So it's like if we want to have drinks at night by the pool or whatever, like should we take some bottles of wine or liquor? And he was like, oh, we'll just go to the liquor store. And I was like, Glenn, I don't think you're understanding where we are. And he
Yeah.
was like,
You're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
literally, like it's like Joshua Tree. Sorry, it's like Joshua Tree in Mexico. And so he like zooms in and shows me this like one liquor store like a mile away that's like a Russian liquor store. And I was like, first of all, doubt it's open. Second of all, definitely not open late night. Third of all, not sure we want to show up there. So gonna bring my own alcohol.
You know that Tijuana has the highest number of murder capita?
Murders per capita? Yeah, well, Ciudad Juarez too, right?
Where's that?
It's the border of Mexico and Texas, Ciudad Juarez, and it like
Oh,
half of the city is in Texas and half of the city is in Mexico, and you can like see over the wall when you drive by it.
interesting.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
gnarly.
nervous about driving through Tijuana and like coming back, we got lost and I could tell that like the guy I was dating at the time was anxious, and then I was like feeling it, and I was like, don't you get me anxious? Like if we get pulled
Right.
over, like I'm gonna get shot because I'm gonna be annoying as hell. Like they're gonna hate me. Like I'm gonna
Right.
be like
Well,
super annoying.
as soon as you cross the border, you just go to the coast. You don't go through Tijuana. Like you
No,
have to
so
just go
true.
immediately to the coast. Because there's a straight shot down the coast. And yeah, we're going in broad daylight. We're going during the day. I wouldn't drive at night.
Yeah,
It's another reason I want to leave early enough so we're not like dealing with any of that. But
safe.
I mean,
I
we're
need
gonna
my
do the
friends
coast.
to come back, like like my social circle. Like I can't have all of y'all just like disappear in Mexico. I'd be
No,
SOL.
yeah,
Talk
that'd be
about
weird.
friendship. I'd be going on Bumble Friends next.
Well, I didn't know Kinsey went on Bumble Friends when she was in San Diego. I didn't know that
Oh,
was a thing.
really? What was her
Yeah.
experience?
Hold on. What does she need?
Okay, back to the friendship thing. It's also hard to make like decent friends as an adult in a way, like because people are weird. Like, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like everyone's
yeah.
kind of like set in their ways. Like to find
Right.
people that you like kind of connect with is like it's tough, and then
Mhm.
you're exhausted. Like trying to also like be social and meet new people is just as hard as it is dating in a way.
Well, and I also think that coming full circle on that, you've got your friends you go out with, but you might not ever go any deeper than that. And are
Yeah.
those really friends, or is that just like I have friends that's like, yeah, I could go to happy hour with you, I could go out with you, but I don't know.
You're not saging the bottom of their feet when they're having like a mental breakdown.
I mean, I might be like, let's be honest. I'd probably be like, bitch, I'd be the girl in the bathroom, like watching some girl cry and be like, I brought my sage. Don't you
Yeah,
worry.
down, honey, I got you.
Literally. My mom asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I literally almost texted her this. So then I was like, you're insane, Eva. I was like, can I get a psychic reading for my animals? Because they do that.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, but like it'll tell you if your animals love you or not. And
No,
it
Fat
tells
Cat's
you
gonna be like, okay, I don't know why you keep moving apartments. I don't know why my like water bowl little leaf thing is not filled all the time because I like to look out of it. And also this big furry thing that follows me around is like kind of nice. It needs to go. That's exactly what Fat Cat would say.
like I don't understand. No, I counted the other day, she's 14 and she's lived in 14 apartments. That's insane.
Yeah, she's probably like lost half the time.
I really wanted to get her a hammock and like put it on my balcony so she could like swing in it. But like my mom tells me that I need to stop buying shit for my animals. So
Glad that you don't have one of those like god awful ugly.
trees,
What are the things that they like climb on?
cat trees. Okay, this is a business idea. Speaking of business ideas, not that we were speaking about it, but if we were, because I feel like me and you have a lot of ideas, we should start a list of business ideas.
We really should.
Non ugly cat trees. Like
Like cool ones.
cool ones, or just like figure out how to make like a cat tree that also serves a purpose. So it's like also a side table, or it's also like a lamp, or it's also like,
Lamp would be kind of neat, but do you think they would like chew on the wire and then you have like an electrocuted cat?
well, I don't know. We haven't figured it out. But I'm just saying there's got to be a way to make the same way like they make these things, like literally those my TV stand, it's sold as it's a cat litter box hider thing. You're supposed to put a cat, like that's what it's for.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. So when I was like babysitting baby and I was over there snooping around your apartment trying to find his bucket hat that I couldn't find, I was like opening all your cabinets and I never even thought about the fact that I've never seen the,
Litter box. Yeah, that's why.
I
Yeah,
don't
because you
even know
don't
what
want
I
that
was
out
thinking.
in
I
the open.
opened it and I was like, oh God, but
Yeah,
it
you
doesn't
don't want that out in
smell
the
through
open.
there.
No,
I was shocked.
I know. I know. It's why I like it so much. And also she gets privacy, and then if she kicks up a whole bunch of the stuff everywhere, it's contained. Like, yeah, it's a game changer.
I have some thoughts real quick. I know we talk about this almost like on every podcast, but we're coming to an end of the season. I do just need to run it by you for a little bit on my thoughts since
See
we're
what
it's the
season?
finale tonight about Summer House.
Oh. Wait, no, the
Okay.
finale was last night. It's already come
Oh,
out.
today's Thursday. Yeah. Okay. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet either. I'm gonna watch it
I've always been a Sierra fan.
until this season.
This season, I'm not. I feel
Okay.
like we're seeing more sides of her. I feel like that girl has so many walls up, you could hardly even break them down with a jackhammer. Two, I think she is a pick me girl. And I think that she does kind of flirt with all the boys and then gets pissed off if they try to say, you know what, I have a girlfriend. Here's a boundary of mine.
Yep.
And
Agreed.
as much as I love all of them, I think they were kind of mean to Lexi. And I now dislike Jesse Solomon. I think he's a tool.
Oh,
And
he's a
I will
complete.
agree with on what you were going to say on your TikToks recently. Like, he's unattractive in the way that he handled himself, even on the Tinks podcast. I don't know if you listened to it,
It did.
but it
It
was
was like cringe. I couldn't even get through it.
I feel
It
like
was
even
so
Tinks was cringed by it. Like he had an air about him, like he had a chip on his shoulder. Like I did not
no.
like it.
I've been completely repulsed by the way he handled everything. Also, this is, and look, I'm not one to bash a woman's appearance. Not where I'm going with this. People talk about Sierra's appearance like she is the most beautiful
Beautiful
person.
creature to ever walk the earth. I know.
I'm not saying she's not pretty, but I don't find her so much prettier than Paige, Amanda, Lexi. Like, I don't like they talk about her like she's on another level. And I'm like, she's pretty. Lexi's pretty.
Yeah.
Paige is pretty. They're all pretty. Like,
Oh,
but
beautiful.
right. And I get it. I don't see it. And I'm like, am I missing something? But like, do you know what I'm talking about? How they talk about how Sierra's like, oh my God, I can't believe any guy would treat her like that. Like she is. And I'm like, I can't, well, Lexi,
So
like, I can't believe any guy would treat Lexi that way.
attitude, like is the way Lexi's personality is, it makes her a little bit softer and seem a little bit like weaker in a way. Whereas Sierra gives off this like don't F with me mentality. I'm gonna beat you up kind of. Like she's a little aggressive.
And I almost think it makes her look like she always has like a snarl on her face. Like,
Agreed. Like it's
you
all she's
know,
always is very angry. She seems very angry.
so angry. And like with Lexi, first of all, you know, my biggest soapbox is don't confuse kindness with weakness. Like,
But she's
do
not
not
stupid.
confuse. No, don't confuse manners with weakness. Don't confuse being there for other people with weakness. Don't do any of that. Don't confuse having emotions for weakness.
Yeah.
But if I'm being really blunt, I think, and I'm not trying to compare the two because I don't want to do that. But if I'm being really blunt, I think Lexi is 10 times prettier than Sierra, right? But irregardless, I don't see. I think they're all beautiful, and I don't see this like Sierra being some other world. If anything, you're right. I think her personality makes her more less attractive because she acts like a bitch. The only time I don't find her acting that way is when she has a one-on-one with Paige,
I
which
was
makes
just
me
about to say that. Remember whenever she kind of started to cry because Paige was
yes,
upset and she like
yes,
showed that side of herself? I'm like,
yes.
okay, so she is sensitive, she's soft. So this front is all a
Facade,
guard. Yeah.
right? And I feel for her because of it. Like I get
Yeah.
it,
Like I
but
feel like she's been so hurt and like you can like see it now more and more. Especially after the West situation last year.
one thousand
You know,
percent.
it put a
I
bad taste
also
in my mouth.
yeah, but if I'm also being blunt, the West thing happened last Christmas, not this past one, the one before, 6 months before they started filming again, or 8 months before they started filming again. I will have gone through fucking 5 situationships in that time. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I will have gone on 30 dates, 29 of them will have ghosted me in that time. I just don't like, yeah, it sucked what he did. Welcome to being an adult and dating in America.
And the yeah, in the year 2024, 2025. Yeah.
Like, she's acting like this is some out of pocket experience. And I'm just like, come again? Like, do you think you're above being treated like that?
Well, and it's like you have to respect her to some extent because she like holds herself to this like super high standard, which okay, yes.
But you're telling me she hasn't had one situationship since last December.
Right. It's like sometimes it's like, girl, just chill. Like not everybody's one trying to date you. Not everyone's out to get you. Not everyone, is going to like walk all over you. Like give somebody a chance a little bit, you know? Like
But also,
I
if
don't
they
know.
do walk all over you, like, I'm sorry, that's part of the experience. And I'm not saying I like it. None of us like it.
No.
She reminds me of like, I mean, maybe this is part and parcel where age comes into factor, right? She's 29, 30. She reminds me of me at 29, 30. I was waiting for Prince Charming to be perfect, and I was aghast at when men would ghost me. Like, couldn't believe it, would get hung up on these things. And now, like, a guy ghosts me, I'm like, okay, next.
Next. You know, it's fine.
Literally, like, so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I really am excited about the reunion. Did you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
No, I need to watch that. I need a new series to watch now that all this is ending. So maybe I'll hop on that bandwagon. But
Oh,
you'll laugh about this. Your Prince Charming comment made me think about it. You know my
sure.
lovely t-shirt nightgown that I love to sleep in that no one ever sees that says my Prince Charming needs a better map that I've had
Uh-huh.
since forever. I threw it in the trash last week.
Why? I love that shirt.
I think I don't know. I had this like epiphany and I was like, this is kind of negative,
Fair
like,
enough.
and so I was like, I told my mom about it. I said, I threw away the nightgown you got me. And she was like, what? And I said, I've just decided it's time to retire that. I threw it in the trash can.
Fair. I think that's fair. Um, no, I've been really impressed and proud of the way you've been like cutting negative stuff out recently because I do think like you feel lighter.
You
Like you
do
do.
feel lighter.
Well, I
You
mean,
do.
like I'm saying you feel lighter, like
Oh,
actually feel
yeah.
lighter.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
you.
that's a good friend right there. Speaking of great friends, like I am a queen of staying friends with a lot of situationships
Yeah.
and always being like nice. And I've learned that you don't always have to be nice. You can still be a good person.
Right. And it doesn't mean
That's
you
the
have to be
motto.
mean. Like you don't
Yeah,
have to be
it
mean.
doesn't need to be
If
mean.
shit blows up your phone, you don't have to answer. You
Yeah,
also don't have to explain anything to them. You also don't have to end things. You
you
can
can
just
just
go on with your
not
life.
be available.
Correct. Correct. Like, and that is completely fine. Like, when's the last, like, I just think that a lot of times we confuse being kind with being always available. And
Especially from this if you're from the South, because you feel like you're like you always are taught, a little bit of a people pleaser.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, and especially for a woman. Like women are always taught we've got to like make sure everyone's taken care of before ourselves. And the reality is like take care of yourself because how can you take care of anyone else if you haven't taken care of yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard.
So
It's hard.
it's gone. I said bye-bye.
Well, we can
But
get you a new exercise t-shirt that has a better like something on
I know I love sleeping in like t-shirt
it.
nightgowns. It's like,
Same. That's my biggest beef. My ex used to hate it. I used because
oh,
I
my ex hated them. Remember
hated
the
it.
Victoria's Secret ones?
Yes, my ex
Mine,
like
I think I
hated
even
them.
still have them. One said like "kiss and wake up" or something like that, like those
Well, and
cheesy ones.
he didn't even care about what was written on it. He just didn't want me in this big oversized t-shirt. And I was like, I hate sleeping naked. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And if I'm by myself, I'm not putting on some sexy
New
lingerie.
outfit. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, by the way, if I am wearing sexy lingerie, I'm still not sleeping in it. We're not
Yeah.
sleeping. That's itchy. Like, would you want to sleep in itchy lace? No. So
No.
it baffles me because it's like guys want to sleep in like comfy boxers, so get fucked. Like,
I do love like nightgowns though. Like I am like a little like delicate cotton nightgowns or like things like that. I can sleep in those a lot.
I don't
But
like sleeping when I'm bloated because they hug you.
correct. It's
Yeah.
different. It's different when you can throw, you know what the best thing to sleep in is? Your man's loose boxers and their big t-shirts. You know, like little
Yeah, I don't
box
want the
briefs.
boxers.
I used to sleep
Oh,
in
I
those
don't.
all.
Yeah, I don't want the boxers, but I want the biggest t-shirt you can find, preferably like in the softest, oldest cotton,
Yeah.
and
And
like just
62 degrees.
yes, that's the ideal. That is perfect. And also, don't cuddle me. Kiss me goodnight and
Oh,
then roll
yeah.
over to the
Don't
side.
tell
We'll
me.
talk in the morning.
We need to take a poll on how many women actually enjoy being cuddled because if a man crawled on top of me and laid
Oh,
there like how that guy did and he's just not that into you, I would be like, get off me.
mhm. And like if I'm good and have done all my face stuff, I've got like 8 serums on. I've got my retainer in. I've got my hair braided. Like I'm cocooned.
Yeah. It's like stay over there until necessary.
On that note, shall we end this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go veg out on my couch tonight. So
Same, actually.
yeah.